Why do 98% of Australians retire completely broke? Number one, fear of borrowing money. And fear, as Anthony Robbins says, is false expectations appearing real. And people got fear because they don't know what they're doing. And there's nothing wrong with having fear if you don't know what you're doing, right? Never started to invest. A lot of people just never started, And we've had people that never started that came and joined our program in their 70s and said, I've never started, but at least they started, right? Lack of knowledge about investing. A lot of people don't do it because they don't know how to invest. We weren't taught this in schools. The corporates don't teach you, the banks don't teach you, the government doesn't teach you any of this, right? And there's a massive lack of knowledge about investing in Australia, in the world. And that's why Robert Kiyosaki is on a crusade. He's on a crusade to help people learn about investing. And the number one thing is a lack of a modern day financial education, right? And that's what we're going to give you today. We're going to give you a modern day education about how to invest and really give the strategies of what the wealthy investors are doing and why the struggling investors, the poor investors are missing out. It's going to be blatantly obvious to you after you've seen this session. Our schooling system is broken. It really is. They don't teach about taxes, about job interviews, about investing, about property, about what the wealthy people do, about debt, about balance sheets, anything. So if you failed before, it's not your fault. Why property? Have you heard of this thing called safe as shares? No. What about safe as Bitcoin? If you're going to buy shares or Bitcoin or something like that, normally what the bank will do is ask for a hard asset like property as collateral because they know property is safe and they're going to get their money back. Now, if you want to buy property, you can't use shares as the collateral to buy the property. The property is the collateral. So banks, they know what they're doing when it comes to safety and things like that. So the fact of it is 90% of self-made millionaires in the world today made it through property. Now, the number one rule in investing, Warren Buffett, is number one, never lose money. You know what rule number two is? Never forget rule number one. How do you not lose money? You've got to understand the core fundamentals. You've got to know this stuff. You've got to learn, you've got to educate yourself. See, a lot of people think that I would say investing in property should be your number one thing. And no, it's not. The number one thing you should invest in is yourself because you're your biggest asset and you should invest in yourself. You just need to educate yourself because that's what the wealthy do. So therefore you won't lose any money and then you're going to follow these rules.